In 3, 2, 1, October Red, and I'm joined by the fastest growing global promoter.
Okay, still growing.
Oh yeah, you've got plenty of room for growth.
Okay, yeah. Busy. Good to be around your neck of the woods today. Very excited about this show. I think I said in the press a lot, I've never really understood why boxing's never really taken off in the Midlands. I don't know. Like the fighters sell a lot of tickets, but the box office doesn't. But that's changing a little bit now, and I feel like Resorts World, although it was a Haney fight and they come from Stoke, there's still Midlands fighters on the card. And I think you've got fighters like Conor Walker, very exciting, and then you've got the younger guys coming through like Ibrahim and Hamza. I just think there's a little bit of buzz, so hopefully it will do well June 22nd. I think it's a great card.
Talk to me about the matchmaking, because we've got obviously Tyler Denny versus Felix Cash. That's the headline. When you look at the matchmaking for them two, obviously we can talk about career progression of Cash. But why that fight? What is it about those two?
It was a fight that was ordered for the European title, and we won the purse bid. I just think it's a really good fight. Like, I think it's a 50-50 fight. Like, that fight came up on the purse bid, and then you start thinking about other fights you can build in the city. Reached out to Lewis Crocker. He was up for Conor Walker. I was like, and Conor Walker was up for Lewis Crocker. I thought perfect. Jordan Flynn against Cameron Bong, like not too far away. I know he's in Newcastle, but Jordan's just down the road. Good fight that needed to be rescheduled. Shannon Ryan against Emma Dolan, I really like that fight as well. Then, like I said, you've got fighters like Ibrahim and Hamza, Muhammad Ali. They all sell like 400 or 500 tickets each from different pockets. So I just hope they stay this time, because the problem is when you do a long show, if your guy is on at 5 o'clock, it's a lot to ask to stay till 10. Do you know what I mean? And if it's not a massive main event, sometimes you'll just get back to wherever you've got to be. So my encouragement is stay in the arena, enjoy a brilliant night of boxing and a great card.
When we talk about ticket sales and getting the fights back here, like you said, it's possibly not the box office, but we do sell tickets. What will it take for obviously Matchroom to be encouraged more to visit the city and get more fights made here on a regular basis?
Just really ticket sales, also the quality of the fighters. Like, we've got a lot, Galal fight will be in a massive fight at some point this year. That'll be a headline fight back in Birmingham. If Conor Walker, even if he wins or loses, he's going to be in a big fight. The other guys are going to start stepping up into 8 and 10 rounders. But I think that Resorts World's a really good venue. Like, it looks good on TV. It's a really good viewing venue as well. And I think we're going to, like, if we have a disaster, we're going to do 4,000. If we do well, we're going to do 6,000 or 7,000. And you just never know. Like, you never know. Like, I'm listening to that thinking, this is it. Like, I knew it was a great card. And then all of a sudden, everyone's, and people are watching, people are hearing about it. And it creates that buzz in the city. And hopefully everyone will come out.
Eddie, you've just come back from the States. So much has happened. Listen, there's not a day that goes by where I don't open X, as it's known now. And there's just literally controversy everywhere. First, it's Oscar De La Hoya insulting Canelo at the top table. I mean, you watching that, we can start there. I think I'll use that as a margin to start off where I'm going.
Yeah, I just have horrible hatred between both of them. Like,
Why?
Because, you heard Canelo's comments. I won't go into him about what he feels Golden Boy did to him. Oscar's got this thing where it's like, I built you, put some respect on, I am Golden Boy. And he is Golden, like he's the Golden Boy, right? It's difficult for him, I think, sometimes to understand that the part that a promoter plays in the journey of a fighter is important, but it's quite a small part in terms of what the fighter has to do. Like, when you talk about a fighter like Canelo, coming through, turning pro, whatever he was, 15, 16 from Guadalajara, very humble beginnings. Like, what he's achieved in the sport, don't tell me that's down to Oscar De La Hoya. Now, I'm sure they built him a little bit, they helped him a little bit. They obviously did other things that Canelo didn't like. But at the same time, it's difficult for Oscar because he's a legend of the sport, right? But you work, like, Canelo Alvarez was your boss. And I think if you got Dave an interview with Oscar and said, do you acknowledge that Canelo Alvarez was your boss? He would go, we built him. I'm Golden Boy. I built him. It's like, no, mate. You work for the fighter. It's all very well saying, I'm for the fighters. I'm for this. But it's different. And I don't blame him so much all the time but he should have an ego. He's Oscar De La Hoya. Do you know what I mean? But it's hard to just drop back into, like, Hamza Uddin, I've said this a few times now, he's my boss. Right? Muhammad Ali is my boss. Now, that might sound strange when they're 19-year-old kids or 20, fighting in 4 and 6 rounders, but I work for them. They're the fighter. And this other generation, like even the older school promoters, my dad's probably like, maybe my dad would struggle to say, they're my boss, because things have changed. And like, I don't know, I feel he finds it difficult to do that because in his mind, he's the star. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, but that is a bitterness that will never change, really, because it's too far gone. Which is sad, in a way, because I'm sure they had some good times, but obviously had a lot of bad times as well.
Everything almost turns on its head. We get that. Then obviously we have VADA tests. Once again, it's like, failed tests. Ryan makes no bones about it, jumps straight on social media and blames supplements. We've got a couple of issues there, Eddie, because obviously there was the gamble with being overweight, even betting, giving him some money for being overweight. He wins the fight, etc., etc. So we've got that. No belt on the line because of the weight missed. But now we've got another cloud. What do we do to combat this? Because I know you mentioned possible same-day weigh-ins, which I agree with. But then now we've got the things with positive results.
I saw something like Gervonta Davis was going like, people saying, why is this coming out now? It's like, because... why did we not know this before the fight? Because the samples were on the 19th and 20th, the day of the fight and the day before. You can't take the blood to the VADA lab, test it, go through this, report like in 12 hours. Like, this is how long it takes. The problem is with testing around that period is that you have now allowed a fighter to enter the ring with performance-enhancing drugs in his system. Now, what I'm not going to do is accuse Ryan Garcia of intentionally cheating or whatever. That's his fight. I don't know him well enough to make judgment. He may be innocent. But what we do know is that on that day before the fight and the day of the fight, he had it in his system. If you're Devin Haney right now, I mean, he's been devastated anyway. You're now looking at it and you're going, hang on a minute. I fought a guy that was 3.5 pounds overweight that had performance-enhancing drugs in his system. Are you kidding me? And you get the decision overturned to a no contest. I mean, that's a given, probably. Because there's nothing that Ryan can do to change the fact that it was in his system. Now, he has to fight to prove that he didn't intentionally ingest it. That's a tough fight to win, because I've been there for 2 years, right? But if you believe in someone, you've got to fight it. And that's the same. I hope that Ryan and Oscar have the resilience for the fight that's about to occur, because it's a tough fight to win. I'm still having it. So it's aged me significantly. But if you believe in something in your heart, you have to stand by it. What you can't do is go on Instagram Live and go, the world's against me. This is a joke. Like, it's not a joke. It happened. Now you've got to get your lawyers together, get your team together, and come to the bottom of why. If you did take something that you shouldn't have and you didn't realise it had that in it, tough, but that's okay. If that's your case, you go to the commission and you say, this is what's happened. If someone contaminated your supplements, or you go and you batch test your supplements and you find that it was a contamination, there's another excuse. The excuse of, oh, it's a joke. It's a conspiracy. It don't work, So it's real, it's happened, and now you got to fight it. But for Devin, I feel like he's been, he was very upset last night because he's trying to come to terms with the defeat. And now it's like, what? I can't, but...
And final one from me, it'd be rude if I didn't ask. Obviously, Matchroom put out the professional statement. I like the fact that you put it out as soon as you could, as you do, to be fair, with all your statements, that you've parted ways amicably with Chantelle Cameron. Now, it seems to have been a little bit of an uphill battle with the two of you during your last few months together with, frustrations, venting those frustrations online. And Eddie, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm open to that. You strike me as a promoter that likes when things are done behind closed doors and not necessarily, the laundry being aired outside. Would you say that may have contributed to the breakdown of the relationship?
I've never fallen out with Chantelle. Like, sometimes, the only frustrating thing is that she's never felt like we've done a great job for her. And I really can't understand that. But we've never had an argument or it was difficult after the Katie Taylor defeat because she lost. And, it's a difficult pill to swallow. And the fact that she went to Ireland for the rematch, but she made a lot of money, and that's just sometimes what you got to do. We just reached a point where it was I don't think she's ever going to be happy or appreciate what we're doing or what we've done for her. And we got her that World Championship fight behind closed doors, which was expensive, but, you know, she done great. And she's always done great, by the way. She's been amazing in the ring. I took her to Vegas to defend her belt, which was an amazing opportunity. I then created an actual tournament for her to become undisputed and signed up all the other champions so I could get her those fights. Then she was fighting Mary McGee in that tournament in a unification, and Dylan White pulled out. And I decided I didn't want to let the fighters down. I kept the fight and the show on. Lost several £100,000 in the process, but she won and she unified. Then Kaylee Reese pulled out of the tournament and I had to get her another defence. Then we got an amazing opportunity for her to fight on a huge card in Abu Dhabi for the Undisputed Championship against Jessica McCaskill. And then walked into a massive payday to challenge Katie Taylor. Won the fight, she was amazing. Got a rematch for another load of money. You know, she's made several millions in her career. And then, you know, from there it was like, obviously the fallout, and, you know, we had a contractual obligation to give her a comeback fight. But I don't want to be, sometimes it's best just to shake hands. And we like I said, when I see Chantelle, it will never be like, you know, not talking to him like Canelo and Oscar. It'll be, look, we had a great, and I think over time when she looks back, I do think she'll go, actually, they done a good job for me, or I had a good run. And as I said, I can't say enough about her as a fighter. I think she's an incredible fighter, and I like, you know, I do like her. Just for some reason, there's just always been that feeling that we've not given her the. I don't know. It's weird, but better to do it this way. She'll go out, and I think Queen or whoever she'll go with, and she'll be in big fights. She's a great fighter, and I wish her all the best.
Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming to Birmingham, and I'll see you, fight week.
Cheers.
Thank you.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.